Well, it looks like, Candy Crowley, which I want to talk about here for a minute, and CNN's issued a directive basically saying, hey, back up Candy Crowley, cover her ass like we've been doing for the president all these, past 4 years. And what they're referencing is the fact that Mitt Romney and the president got into an exchange about Libya. And, of course, the president got all indignant and I'm the one who has to greet those caskets. Well, if you'd do your job, we'd have a few less caskets to greet. We do know that the State Department watched in real time this incident unfold. Real time. They had a drone overhead watching it. What did we do? We sat there and watched it. We did nothing about it. Yet, if we watched what happened in real time, why is the State Department saying it took 24 hours for them to realize it wasn't, from this video, that it was an act of terrorism and that it wasn't a spontaneous, riot from a video? This was a planned and coordinated attack. These were people that showed up with, automatic weapons. They showed up with rocket-propelled grenades and mortars. Okay, but let me not get too terribly far here. But I just want to make that point because I'll get back to it. Okay, as we know during the interview, Mitt Romney correctly pointed out that the president never called this an act of terrorism. For weeks afterwards, and except Romney used the word terror. Okay, and if you want to sit here and try to split the baby in half here. If you would have said terrorism, this would have been extremely clear. Obama apparently, he went out the day after, gave this Rose Garden address, and used the word terror. Okay, but he wasn't talking about this very specific incident. He was talking about, acts of terror in general. To me, there's a difference between terrorism and an act of terror. And we know this because, again, the president said that the day after. He said that, we won't be, we won't be stopped by acts of terror. But here's the thing. We know that he went out the following day and went on The View and went on David Letterman and did not call these acts of terror. Instead, he said, because they asked him if this was an act of terrorism, and he said, we don't have the facts. The facts aren't, we don't know. We're looking into it. And then he went to the UN. What did he do there? Never said it was an act of terrorism. Never said these people were terrorists. Instead, he referred to this video trailer that no one has ever seen. No one here even heard about it. And in fact, they went and arrested the guy. The feds went and arrested the guy who made the video and put him in jail. For what? His freedom of speech? He didn't do anything. He exercised freedom of speech. And they arrested him. Why? As a show. He's a scapegoat to say, yep, we arrested the guy. See, we're tough on people who say bad things about Muslims. But people who take, Christian crosses and put them in beakers of urine, well, that's freedom of expression. And not only that, we're going to use taxpayer dollars to fund it. You don't see Christians running around, blowing up mosques and stuff because, some, nuthead, with government funding put a crucifix in a beaker of urine. But back to Candy Crowley. And the reason why I wanted to tell you about Obama is because he spent the next several weeks, as did Hillary Clinton, as did Secretary Rice, as did Jay Carney, all blaming it on the video. For weeks after the incident, okay? That's important to remember, okay? the president, Mitt Romney makes the comment, that the president just refuses to admit this for what it is. It's an act of terrorism. Except Mitt Romney used the word terror, and of course Obama's like, I did so call it. I used that word, and Mitt Romney said, okay, so you're saying that for the record, right? And then what does Candy Crowley do? Instead of letting the debate go, she mysteriously, okay, now mind you, this whole question came up because of a person in the audience. Okay, well, she just, odd, she had apparently the quote, what Obama had said during the Rose Garden. Now, isn't that interesting? Because these were random questions. The candidates weren't supposed to know what was going to be asked. Now you've got Obama telling the moderator, or I should say, the partisan Obama water girl, being told, check your notes, Candy, check your notes. Well, how does she know? How does he know she had notes on this? He's prepared to pick up a piece of paper, and she told Mitt Romney that, well, yeah, he did use that word. And, Romney, he stumbled for a second, and, he wasn't able to drive his point home because he's classy enough, because, frankly, he should have said, Miss Crowley, he should have chastised her, honestly. Mitt Romney, should have went over there and said, Miss Crowley, this is a debate. I didn't know I was debating the moderator, too. I thought I was debating the President of the United States. I mean, I find it interesting that Mitt Romney's now debating two people. But he should have put Candy Crowley in her place and said, ma'am, this isn't your place to intervene. And there'll be plenty of fact-checking after the debate. In fact, Candy Crowley, she came back afterwards and she backtracked. It says right here, I want to get this right. She backtracked just a few hours after she left the GOP candidate exposed on a stage in front of millions of viewers. She admitted that Romney had been right in the main, but added that he had picked the wrong word. She then told the chat show, The View, it didn't come to me as I was going to fact-check that. It came to me as, let's get past this. Let's get past this. Why? Because Obama was fixing to get his ass kicked. She knew it. It was coordinated. She had this innocuous little quote that really, because it used the word terror instead of terrorism, that she tried to insulate and protect the president. Because let's face it, we all know, we've all seen the president out for the last couple of weeks saying it's because of the video. We saw him say it to the UN 6 times that it was a video. We saw him spend money to take out an ad with he and Secretary Clinton over in Libya denouncing the video and saying that the federal government had nothing to do with it. Now, why would you do that? It was an act of terrorism, and our coward-in-chief refuses to admit it. We had live intelligence. We were beyond live. We had live video feeds. They were watching a TV screen as the embassy was being attacked. They knew it. At the very second, we had a drone that was over the embassy. We had all the live feed that we knew. We have testimony. The ambassador's aide emailed the White House as to what was going on. Also sent an email to the State Department, and I think to the embassy over in Tripoli, and some other outfit, I guess it does security or something. So there were at least three, I think 4 emails that were sent that says, we are under attack. They watched the attack in real time. Okay? This wasn't people throwing bottles of urine and, chanting. These were people with mortars and RPGs. Of which, where did they get those mortars and RPGs? I wonder, did they get those from the Obama administration through the arms deal they brokered to get weapons into the hands of rebels? And who was the intermediary on that? It was the ambassador that was killed. Isn't that interesting? And the 2 Navy SEALs that were killed? Oh, yeah, they were contractors with the State Department to track down the weapons that were sold to the rebels. Oh, what? There were Al-Qaeda that were a big chunk of the rebels? Oh, so who doesn't want it to get out that the Obama administration sold weapons to Al-Qaeda? Oh, who's Al Qaeda? Oh, yeah, the same people that flew the planes into the towers in New York City. Isn't this all interesting? Yeah, Miss Candy Crowley, you absolutely did want to get past this. Yeah, you don't want the truth coming out because you're not done carrying the water for the least qualified person to ever hold the office. That's the fact. You know, Mitt Romney was fixing to just put him back in his place again. He was going to have Obama so cornered. Oh, because let's face it, he can't escape this. This is his October surprise. This is his albatross around his neck. You know, because he hired Secretary Clinton. She's the least qualified person for this job. There's nothing that she's done right. There's not much that he's ever done right. And folks, look, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. You need 4 dead Americans and a whole lot of bungling going on. Y'all need to look into this, and you need to consider what I'm saying. Because I tell you, this is not over yet. But anyway, Candy Crowley, what a shame. CNN, it's a shame that you're backing up. But, you know, then again, that's why your ratings are the way your ratings are. Because people are done. People want the truth. People deserve the truth. These families of these dead Americans from Benghazi, they deserve the truth. And when you have moderators like Candy Crowley, who interrupted Mitt Romney 29 times, only interrupted the president, 8 or 9 times? And out of the 3 debates that we've had, 2 presidential, 1 vice presidential, the Democrats managed to get almost 10% more time talking. That's not a coincidence. That's a coordination. And, you know, Candy Crowley is one of those involved. So anyway, I do appreciate y'all watching. I hope you take what I said and, you know, fact check it. And find out for yourself. And appreciate you watching. God bless America.